Hey, Pastor Dave here. With Mark Clifton.
Hey guys.
Hey, Pastor, he runs Revitalizing and Replant for North American Mission Board, correct?
Yep, that's right.
And running the conference that I'm at today. I just had three quick questions for
You
him.
bet.
And the first one is, can you tell us what church revitalization is?
Sure. Church revitalization is really helping a church find Jesus' plan for their church, make the adjustments that need to be made so that we follow his agenda, not our agenda, in order that we glorify Christ by making disciples who can make disciples that result in the community being noticeably better. It's not about growing numerically. It's about glorifying Christ by making disciples who can make disciples that result in the community being noticeably better.
Okay.
It's pretty much that simple. And if you're a disciple who's making disciples, you're also sharing your faith with the unconverted. That's part of discipleship. So it's evangelism as well.
Okay. So tell me, do you have to be a dying church in order to look at revitalization?
No, every church needs to be revitalized. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but roughly 20 to 25% of your church will leave or pass away or move away every 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. So if you're not recovering 20 to 25% of your membership every 3 to 4 or 5 years, you're going to be declining. So you're always in a sense of revitalization. Back 120 years ago, when my great-grandfather was preaching up in rural North Missouri, nobody ever moved out of the county they lived in. And they had lots of kids. And their kids had lots of kids. Mm-hmm. And their kids had lots of kids. Mm-hmm. And so the church was always at a certain number because nobody moved away and they kept having kids and the kids kept having kids. Of course, that's not the case anymore. Now we live in a very transient society. People move, they come, they go, they retire, they go south, or they get a new job and they go somewhere else. And so there's a lot of turnover, and our communities are constantly changing. So you have to really be in a state of revitalization all the time, or you will decline.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, I know there's many things that you can say about revitalization. Let's just one or two keys. What are
Yeah, the first key is to really make decisions not based on our preferences and what we like, but on what we understand Jesus wants us to do with his church. The first thing is to realize I may have gone here for 40 years. I may have given all my money. This may be the most beloved place. I got married here. My parents were their funerals were here. My kids were baptized here. That's all great. But it's not your church. It belongs to Jesus. And so you have to ask yourself, what would he want me to do with his church? Well, he would want me to share the gospel, to evangelize the community, to make disciples, and to make this community noticeably better. And doing that glorifies him. So the first thing is just who owns this place and who really gets to call the shots. And it's Jesus. And the interesting thing is that initially it may go against some of our agenda and what we would like, but if we really follow his plan, that ultimately brings us more peace and happiness than anything we could imagine. It's for our best.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, Mark Clifton.
Yep.
Revitalize and Replant. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks.
And all the insights that you and your guests have been bringing on today.
We've got a lot of work to do, keeping our churches focused on Christ and focused on the mission. But he's still alive and he's still on his throne, and he still has a plan for every church, and he'll carry it through if we will follow him.
Amen.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.